The following is a presentation of the Maine Department of Education School Finance Team, brought to you by the Maine School Management Association.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Denise Towers. I am the School Finance Compliance Coordinator, and I've been with our team for 12 years. And I'm going to just take a few minutes, maybe 10, to talk about Education Service Centers. What is an Education Service Center? An Education Service Center is a member-owned multi-service agency. Two or more school administrative units collaborate to form an Education Service Center for the purpose of cost saving and better educational outcomes. Title 20A, Chapter 123, was enacted in 2018 as provisions specifically for the development of Education Service Centers. Service Center statute, there's 20A, which is the education statute behind service centers, and then there's 30A, which is the municipality side of joint powers. So both of those statutes would need to be reviewed if you're interested in learning more and more about the education service centers. Formation of an Education Service Center. Application 1 is pretty much just like a letter of interest to the department. It just tells us that you're interested in the concept and who your membership might be, proposed services, and governance structure. So it's just a heads up to us that you guys are talking about possibly forming an Education Service Center. The Part 2 application requires more in-depth planning and information to be submitted, including the members of the service center, the members, the services, the governance, and the proposed interlocal agreement signed by all members before it comes to the department. So Part 2 application, along with the interlocal agreement, would need to be ready for the Commissioner's approval by November 1st. After the Commissioner's approval, if the school board vote takes place by November 30th, the operational date of a new ESC would be July of the next fiscal year. So the first application is fairly easy. The second one is a lot more in-depth, and I am always available as you work through your planning of creating a new ESC. Right now we have 16 Education Service Centers in the state, and we have 120 school administrative units that are members. So almost half of our school administrative units are members of an Education Service Center. Services offered depend on what the members need and what the capacity is of the Education Service Center to provide those services. The services are in categories. For example, Category 1 is program administration and appropriate instructional services that comply with federal regulations and state rules. Things like special education and administration, gifted and talented, and the administration, and so forth. If you don't see it on here, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. These are just a few examples of things that fit into that category. Second category is education support services, things like professional development, technology. Category 3 is central office services, and Category 4 is facilities and transportation services. Education Service Centers' revenue model is based from dues, membership fees, assessments to their members, and then there's also this fee-for-service area that could assist with lowering costs for your actual members. So if you are providing transportation services as an ESC and a town has asked for you to work on their vehicles, that would be a fee-for-service. And you would be able to, by doing a fee-for-service, it provides opportunity for more savings for your members because that money is coming in, taking care of expenditures. So fee-for-service is another piece that could even help save more monies for the member. The state does support Education Service Centers if the service center is in compliance with all of their reporting requirements, the support that we provide is 55% of the Education Service Center Director salary and benefits. And also we provide accounting and payroll system support. Yes.
Would the accounting payroll system support also include a time clock system through our financial software?
The question is, does the accounting system payroll support include a time clock mechanism? The answer is no. I'm sorry. It's really the system to do the processing of accounting and payroll. The state also supports members of an education service center. As long as a member purchases one service in 2 different categories, they can receive support from the department. That support is an allocation on your AD 279, and it is a per pupil amount based on a specific count at a specific time, and state share is factored into that as well. Municipal units who are not considered conforming units, by joining an education service center, they would be considered a conforming unit. And what that means is that the state would fund your student information system. And that is done through Kim Hall on our data team, and that is paid directly from the state to your vendor. And again, Kim is your contact if there's interest in talking about that. So really, what makes sense for your school administrative unit? If you are considering cost sharing or sharing services with neighboring districts, does it make sense to just do an interlocal agreement between the 2 of you, or 3 of you? Or does it make sense for you to join an already existing service center that provides those services, or to form a new education service center? It really depends on your situation. So I ask folks to reach out to me. Let's have some conversations. Excuse me. I'm available. I think it's really important to be specific when we're talking, and it's hard to be general. Because it is very specific to your geographical area and the services you need and the capacity you have. So please reach out to me with any questions, or even if you just want to understand things a little bit more in more detail.
For resources and more information about education service centers, scan any of the QR codes on your screen. Any questions you have that aren't covered in this video? Go to maine.gov/DOE/funding and click on Contact Us. There you'll find the contacts for the school finance team. Expect a response within 24 to 48 hours. Click on another video within the playlist to continue watching the training.